Welcome, everybody, to another live edition of our Man's Night right here in our studios from Inside Out. I'm your host, Jay. Thank you guys so much for being here and being a part of this show. And as you guys can see in the title description, we're talking about a drug cartel or a drug offender, however you want to word it or look at it. And believe it or not, unfortunately, he just got released not too long ago after doing 25 years. Yep, you heard that correctly. So we're going to have that topic and so much more right here live with your host, Jay, from Inside Out. Welcome back, everybody, and thank you guys so much for being here and being a part of this great podcast. I'm your host, Jay, and before we even start with the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, I want to go ahead and introduce our co-host for the show who wasn't here last Wednesday due to health issues and whatnot. Please welcome our good co-host and friend, Tammy, to the show. Welcome, Tammy. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing better, a little bit better, some medication adjustments, that kind of stuff.
Wow. Well, anyways, welcome back, and I'm glad that you're, getting better, and I'm glad the prayers for healing actually got answered. That's awesome.
They do, and I love everybody. Thank you, everybody, for reaching out to me. Thank you, Jay, for prayers. I appreciate all of you very much. Prayers are always something that is comforting.
Yeah, that's
it's just the way.
Yeah, that's what family is all about, right? Family here.
Yep, exactly.
So absolutely. We got our Texas mom in here. What's going on, Texas mom? How you doing? Thank you so much for being here. And again, of course, obviously, we also have Bert. What's up, Bert? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing good over there.
Hi,
and of course, yes,
hi, Vicky. Hi, Texas mom.
Yep, and then we got our usuals in here. It's like they never miss a beat, do they? Anyways, Truthful Tam also got in here. Our co-host said, "Hi everyone, love, light, and to all." Absolutely. And then of course, Bert got in here and said, "Hey Vicky." And then of course, obviously we got Texas Mom says, "Hope you're all staying well." I am for the most part, living life, living another day in paradise. If you get the drift. And warm. Yeah, she also said warm. Yeah, it's been cold here for Florida, unfortunately. I'm sure like that in Texas. Vicky said, "Hey, Bert, what's going on?" Basically. And then, of course, Vicky said, "Hi, Texas mom." And, of course, Bert also got in here and said, "Hey, Texas mom." And so forth. But anyways, thank you guys for everybody being here. Appreciate it. As you guys can see on the title description, as I mentioned before in the title description, if you will, we're talking about this guy. He served 25 years and just got released. Tammy, what's your take on this, and how do you feel? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you and everybody in the chat. I have my opinion about it, but I'm curious what you thought. Go ahead, Tammy. It's all yours.
Well, okay. Let me just put it like I did before we came out. There are people that I know very dear and near to my heart. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And other people that have 25-year plus sentences.
Yeah, imagine that.
That are treated way worse than this guy was. And a lot of the ones that I know for a fact had no evidence. No DNA, no weapons, no video, no pictures, no anything to prove that they did something wrong.
Sounds so familiar.
They're serving 25 plus years. Yeah. And this guy and his brothers and his family and this corruption that went with all of this, their big old millions and millions of dollars in Miami. Mm-hmm. And they are from Colombia.
Hi, Destiny.
They kill unalived thousands of people and were responsible for thousands and thousands more by the stuff that they were pushing. And he's out to live free and do whatever.
Yeah, imagine that.
25 years. 25 years he did for thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are no longer walking this earth.
Yeah, and
I'm sick.
I'm sorry. Sorry, this topic gets to me. And I have a major reason why. I mean, just like you said, and you're on the same page as everybody else is, including me and all that. Man, this case is just more proof in the pudding that I feel there's obviously a little bit of favoritism going on here, a few other things, and I'm just at the point where it's like, wow, it must be nice for a guy like this with a major record and characteristics and so many other things that he can get the love and only do, what is it, 25 years, and of course, like you, my locked up loved one's still doing time, and can't get any kind of love or anything or a second chance. Yeah, the system is so backwards and so corrupt. I don't think a lot of people in society know how deep that rabbit hole goes. And it's very frustrating to sit here and watch people rot in prison, if you will, and can't get any action to see a second chance at life. And and Texas Mom hit that right on the button. Money talks, basically. Absolutely, Texas Mom, absolutely. So it's not, obviously the system's not fair, but there's no justice. It's just us. Tammy?
Correct. I mean, and that's the whole thing, the whole point behind this story in particular. Were there other ones we could have talked about? Yeah, but this kind of hit me because I was sitting there thinking, man, I know some people with multiple 25-year sentences. I know even some with capital crimes that they always serve less.
Yeah.
They always serve less than certain crimes that, look, I'll be honest, if I wasn't married and I wasn't
Here comes.
in the position I'm in, I wouldn't even date somebody with children because it only takes one person getting mad at you and saying, oh, you looked at my kid wrong, or you did this, or you did that. And in Texas and in Florida and a couple other states, quite a few of the southern states particularly, they do not have to have proof, just somebody to say it's so. And then magically it's so. But we were taught that it was all different than that. We were taught that, you'll get a lawyer, you'll get this, you'll get that, and you have rights and you have this. Hey, you know what we're fighting for right now? The right for my husband to be at his own hearing.
Oh.
They want to do a hearing without him present. And he can't do anything because he's locked up.
Well, if I may,
let them pull that crap because you know what's going to happen, right?
Absolutely.
You and I both know what they're doing, right?
Tell me. Absolutely. And for the people that don't know how this works, there's a thing called due process. Again, I don't have it here to show you guys, but I want you guys to look up the word due process. Okay, Tammy, you know what I'm talking about, right, Tammy?
Oh, yeah. We
know due process, when you have any type, right, correct, absolutely, Tammy. When you have a certain amount of anything legal going on and it has to involve courts, you have a due process right to be at that court hearing all the time. If they skip through it and you don't get to be there to defend yourself, that in itself is a due process violation. Go ahead, Tammy.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're keeping a paper trail.
Like,
you would not believe. We know, and you know particularly in my husband's case, they held hearings.
Welcome in, Donnie. Thanks for being here, Donnie. Sorry about cutting you off. I had to get that out there, but go ahead.
I had to say, what's up, sis? What's up, bub? So, Texas Mom, give him, HE double hockey sticks. That's my brother. You can pick on him. Feel free. We got to go there. We got to go there. But anyway, you know that they held several hearings without him present.
Yeah, but see, and I would be starting a shitstorm on that itself because
I did. That's why he's going to get that habeas corpus watch.
Good. Well, that's a major violation, and that's a lawsuit just in itself if you're thinking about it. And I would look into it, or he should look into it. But that's a big no-no. Well, but anyways, we can.
If any lawyers come across this podcast, I am looking specifically for a civil civil rights attorney. I'd
There
like
you
to
go.
sue the state of Texas. I would like to sue the county of Denton County, Texas. And
There
I
you
would
go.
like to sue the ex-wife who signed his name and forged his name on a document with the DMV saying she sold the vehicle.
Oh,
And she gifted a vehicle to one of her kids that belonged to my husband that
right.
was supposed to be sold for child support payments.
Oh, imagine that.
And she told the
Crooked,
court
crooked.
she told the court that she only sold it for $2,000. How can you gift it to a child on one affidavit with one state department and then
It,
stand there in another court, state department, district court, and tell the judge that you sold it for
it's crooked,
2,000? Which is it? Did you sell it or did you gift it? And
crooked.
how come the child that it was gifted to then turned around and sold it for almost $38,000?
Imagine that.
And then he was in jail for 8 months on child support payments.
Yeah, imagine that.
8 months, Jay. 8 months of his life locked up for something
I
that
know.
was not that she
That's
stole
why. That's
that
why you got to.
$38,000.
Yep. That's why you got to fight crooked people out there, guys.
Yep. Okay.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I don't want to make it about him. Listen, this
You're
guy,
good.
this whole guy that got out, this
Yeah.
cartel. Listen, him, his brother, his whole family, that whole cartel,
Mhm.
the hits that were ordered, the
Oh,
money, the
yeah.
smuggling, the partying, the all of
Well,
it. Oh man.
if you guys know what the word cartel means, it's bad news from the very get go.
Hmm.
You don't want to mess with anything that's related to the cartel. You won't be seeing tomorrow.
Especially when the cartel is run from another country
They are a
and they're
big,
servicing
yeah.
this country.
They are a big group, big organization, and they got pull.
Hmm.
A lot of people are in each and every pockets, if you know what I mean, Tammy. So
Hmm.
absolutely. But anyways, is there a special thing you want me to go through orders or just put up whatever you put
No,
up?
anything you want to pull up, we can go through. I think they all have videos too, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to have stuff to say in the chats. This story is pretty crazy. So anyone you want to pull up, just let me know.
Um,
Get my
uh,
side up.
yeah, and sometimes I get connection issues. I don't know why. I'm wired in. There should be no connection issues. But anyways, with that being said, apologize on that, guys. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and show a few videos and some information. All information and whatnot, guys, as you guys know, is in the title description, or excuse me, in the description of this live tonight. So again, go look at it on your own leisure time if we're not doing it good enough here for you. But let's go ahead and get the share screen up and going. Again, all information goes to all this information, whatnot, goes to the people that put on these videos and whatnot. So here's the first video we're going to show you guys down the list. Here it is. All right. This is coming from the YouTube channel Straight Arrow News. And I want you guys to watch this in its entirety. This is their stuff. They put it together, if you want to go sub to them, you can do that. Do whatever you need to do. But anyways, all credit goes to Straight Arrow News. I'm not taking any of it. And for right now, here's that video.
Drug lord Fabio Ochoa Vasquez of the Medellin cartel was released from a U.S. prison Tuesday after serving 25 years.
Wow.
He's expected to be deported back to his home country of Colombia. The 67-year-old, along with his two brothers, became billionaires in the 1980s while running a cocaine distribution operation out of Miami. He was also a former associate of notorious Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar. Ochoa was originally named in an indictment in the U.S. for the 1986 murder of Barry Seal, a drug smuggling pilot for the Medellin cartel, who became a DEA informant. He and his brothers surrendered to Colombian authorities in 1990 when Colombia did not have an extradition treaty with the United States. So the brothers were promised that they wouldn't be turned over to U.S. authorities. Ochoa served nearly 6 years in a Colombia prison and was released in 1996. He was arrested again in Colombia in 1999, along with dozens of other drug lords. Colombian authorities then agreed to extradite him to the United States in 2001. Then in 2003, Ochoa was convicted of drug trafficking and distribution of cocaine. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison. Richard Gregory, one of the prosecutors who helped convict Ochoa, told the Associated Press, Authorities were never able to seize all of his family's illicit drug proceeds and says he expects Ochoa will have a welcome return home. He won't be retiring a poor man, that's for sure, Gregory told the AP. Ochoa's character was also featured on the Netflix drama shows Narcos and Griselda. For Straight Arrow News, I'm Lauren Taylor. For more on this story, download the Straight Arrow News app or visit san.com.
And there you go, guys, for that. And of course, I'll come back into the studio now to talk about this, what you guys heard right there. And then we got other articles and another video about this whole type of thing. So, Tammy and everybody else, what's your guys' take on what you just heard there? Must be nice.
Oh, yeah. I wonder how cushy he was up in there. How about you guys?
Yeah. Yeah. Texas mom said this real quick in the chat. She goes, Donnie, this is for you, LOL. Okay, I must have missed something here. I like it, though, nonetheless.
That's
you guys
my
are
brother.
great.
I told her.
Oh, I know. I'm just giving you guys. Yep. And then Donnie said this. Thank you, Donnie, for being here. And thanks for your comment, too, by the way, and interacting. He said this: prison and state courts are all racking in billions. Absolutely. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, guys. Without rules and oversight, and for that they can bend and break rules without consequences. Are you surprised? He's 100% correct. Absolutely. And Bert said hockey is okay. LOL. Thanks, Bert. Bert goes, football is my sport. Yeah, I'm kind of like a football guy, but I'm not like a lot of them. But anyways, our co-host Tammy said this: LOL, love my niece and my brother. Thank you for the support. Absolutely, because without that, we will all be lost, including me. Donnie also said, hello, everyone. And where did lost it again? Bert said, hello, Donnie. And Tam got in here and said, crazy money talks. Absolutely. And Destiny got in here and said, love you, Aunt Tammy. Oh. With that. So if I can get your input before we go on to the next article, Tammy, real quick for tonight's show anyways. This is all over the place for me, but anyways, go ahead.
Well, when it goes all the way up to the ranks of Pablo Escobar, there's been movies made about these guys.
Must be nice.
It's been sensationalized.
Oh, geez.
But when we go to help other people like the Menendez brothers, and then I was trying to follow up on the sheriff, like I said, up in Kentucky that unalived the judge. There is something going on. There is something going on with his family. Mm-hmm. And the judge. There was something to that. There's a big rumor mill about that the wife was leaving him, but the daughter is the key in the middle of all of it, I think. Mm-hmm. And then they said something about that other stuff where the courts were where they had the bailiff that was doing the essays to the mm-hmm. ladies in there. Mm-hmm. So that's going to all come out. It hasn't yet because, court process takes forever.
Oh, I know.
We've all been through it or know somebody that has, and they drag it out. It's not like on TV or the movies where it looks like it happens overnight. It can mm-hmm. run for years. And hubby's case has been 6 years. It was 6 years drug out, 6 years, both cases, civil and criminal. So with these guys, it looks like he really didn't do that much time in the States. Mm-hmm. They didn't pick him up to what did they say? 2001.
Yeah. And it's funny.
So that's really not even 25 years either, is it? Because we're in 24. Add the numbers up.
Yeah, that's nothing's mathing.
3 years. The math isn't adding up.
Well, and again, Tammy, you know how I am about this. I can get going and I can spend hours on this, but I can't. I got to get this other data out there. But briefly, I'll say this, and I'm saying this because I got the experience to back it up. I'm dealing with it with my locked up loved one as you are dealing with yours and so many other crap. I mean, it's just like, when I say must be nice, it's not a smart ass comment or a sarcastic comment. It's like, it must be nice. because it's like, obviously there's a lot of money involved here for him to get the, the attention that he got and for him to get released and all that fun jazz. 25 years for his shit. Excuse my French, guys. Trey, sorry. But 25 years to get what he got. But like, for example, my locked up loved one, which is way less than his stuff or his record, he's still doing, she's done 30 plus years and got another 17 on top of that to do yet before she even sees the gate. So I don't understand how they do this and how they can get away with it. To me, it's over a massive amount of over punishment.
Well, and that's the weird thing. It's all connected back to the money, right? So think about it. They made money when they were pushing the stuff and slinging it all over the streets because it employs all the narcos agents and those governmental agencies. And then they use the stuff that they're slinging and the money to go out and do other things within the government. Nice. So everybody's making money off of it. The bad people, the government, our government, the other government in the other country.
But
everybody was making money off of all of these people being unalive because they're addicted to things. Because they started off, a lot of them got addicted from, let's go, big pharma. So it's like a big old circus, and we're just part of it,
Must be nice.
But the real people in the real world, because we don't live in those fancy houses. Yeah, look, they pay off all the law enforcement. Yeah, and then some of the law enforcement uses it to make their own little side hustles.
Yeah,
just like the CEOs. It's not all CEOs.
It's a major. Sorry, it's a major. Like, not a deal. Basically, it's a major thing where, if you give me a little bit of this and I'll get you off. Major scam. Under the table bullshit. Excuse my French. So yeah, at DA2.
Yeah, but if we do it, we're going to spend the rest of our life and not see the light of day.
Must be nice.
But if they do it, it's okay.
Absolutely. Hand. Yeah, and then Vicky, I don't know if you guys can see the chat or not. Some people are getting in here. Oh, the boss is in here. Anyways, Vicky says this. I agree with you both. My son is doing 40 years for way less. It's crazy. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. That's what I was trying to hit on. I don't understand how they do that. What's the difference from Vicky's son's charge to this guy that we're talking about tonight? I don't get it.
Because he's a millionaire and Vicky's son is a normal person that's out on the street that could be helped in whatever ways and means they need to be to get real rehabilitation and actually be a productive member of society. But members, what they want is enough to do the dirty work that they don't want to do to keep them in their wealthy ass places. I mean, let's get for real.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody's in agreement with what you just said and what I've been talking about. Like Texas Mom says, welcome in, boss lady. Yeah, the boss lady's here. Bert said Vicky. Yeah, Vicky. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And again, I'm sorry, Vicky, for that. But don't give up, Vicky, because we're all here on the same page. I'm fighting it too. Tammy's fighting it. We're all
together.
Fighting.
We're all
You're not alone. We're going to see some love like this guy. All right. But anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the share screen again and set my settings up to show you guys the article now too. And there's another video after the article. But Tammy, if you want to, you can read this article off briefly and we'll go from there. Because you sent me an article.
Which one that you put up?
It's okay. There it is. It's the Creek Repeater.
Greek reporter.
Oh, my bad. Greek. Yeah. I don't have my glasses.
You want to borrow my glasses, Jay?
Yes.
Wendy, we need to get them fixed over here.
I know. And it's funny you say that because my the boss lady keeps telling me, you need to get your ass to the eye doctor. I'm like, I keep putting it off. I don't want to. Anyways, I hate doctors.
This is going to sound negative. Okay, y'all all forgive me ahead of this. I'm a big woman. I'm not skinny. But you notice in this picture of the Ochoa brothers, he's not all thin like he is when he got arrested. You notice? He's all happy and they're living the good life.
Mm-hmm.
They're eating the fabulous stuff, the caviar and the good stuff,
Well, yeah. I mean, look at them. They're definitely getting enough food.
Thank you, Greek reporter, for putting this out here for us to share.
Yeah,
One
absolutely.
of Colombia's most notorious drug lords, Fabio Ochoa, has been released from prison in Florida, United States. Ochoa, a key figure in Pablo Escobar's infamous Medellin cartel. It is expected to be deported back to Colombia soon. He is 67. He was released on Tuesday, December 3rd, after completing 25 years of a 30-year sentence. Like I said, that doesn't add up, but okay.
Must be
Whatever
nice.
everybody wants to say. He and his older brother made significant fortune by trafficking cocaine when the trade was at its height in the late 70s to early 80s. According to U.S. law enforcement, like we can believe their numbers, including in the
I'm not going to say
1987
nothing.
edition of Forbes magazine's billionaires list. I said millionaires. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Billionaires list. Oh, why would he get some favoritism there? While living in Miami, he ran a distribution center for the Medellin cartel.
Oh, imagine that.
He was the youngest son of an elite Medellin family. Unlike many of his counterparts in drug trafficking, Ochoa was far from an elite Medellin family known for ranching and horse breeding. He was the youngest son in the family. Despite his privileged upbringing, he went on to enter Colombia's violent drug underworld. By the late 80s, he had been indicted in the U.S. due to his alleged role in the 1986 murder of Barry Seal,
Yeah,
a
imagine
drug
that.
enforcement agent, Drug Enforcement Administration informant. Seal was later portrayed by Tom Cruise in the 2017 movie American Made.
Wow. Any way to make more money off this
like
shit?
you said, they're like glorified. It makes me sick.
Yeah.
It says that he was included in the U.S. government's list of dozen most wanted Colombian drug lords.
Yeah.
He was extradited in 2001. If he was extradited in 2001, that's all I'm saying. It is 2024 right now. So he entered the U.S. prison system in 2001. So 2001 from 2024, which we are in, is 23 years. How they're getting 25 out of this, I don't know. Where that extra 2 years is coming from.
Again, that's the corruption. I bet you anything there's something in there that's not being said or told. I bet you anything there's.
They give him some time, or they push something aside so he
money
wouldn't do as much, or some bullshit.
Money in the pocket from somebody got rich.
Yep. So basically, I mean, in a recent interview with the Associated Press, Richard Gregory, a retired assistant U.S. attorney who prosecuted and convicted Ochoa, said that U.S. authorities were never able to seize Ochoa's family assets and drug profits. So not only did he not get all the time they're trying to tell us he served, which is BS, they also let him keep his money and his product. You see? Why?
Yeah.
His fortune was worth $6 billion in U.S.
Must be nice. Can I have some of that?
Yeah, I just want a little piece. Can I get my husband out? Can you throw me $250,000? I'll praise you.
Yeah, I'll make payments. Put me on a payment plan.
Yeah, can I have that?
Yeah. But Vicky said this in the chat, and that's why our youth think it's fine to do these things. Yeah, our youth are very, unfortunately, sad but true. Unfortunately, they're not very educated, so they slip up, or they hang out with the wrong crowd, or they do this or do that. Hence the reason why they get in trouble. Because everything's about trends now and what's hot, what's not, and every person wants to be a part of that or have a certain type of popularity. Like anything else, popularity comes with some things that can turn out and ruin your life. Anyways, Texas Moms, Vicky, exactly, because they see everyone gets a slap on the hand. Absolutely. Wish I didn't even get a slap on the hand. Vicky said his product. Yeah. Yep. And And Bert said, but still, that is time lost for me. Yeah, I know. And it's time that we never will get back. There's time I wish I could have that I missed in my children's lives. It's a sucky situation. Just put it that way. But
It is. And then sometimes I wonder, like, show me proof he was incarcerated that whole time. Please show me footage where he was in the deplorable cells that some of our loved ones live through right now. Please.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see proof. Prove it to me.
Exactly. Well, that's the sad thing. Sometimes when it comes to we want to see this or see that, 9 times out of 10 we won't. But you can sure hear people talk about it. As you guys know, talk is cheap, and of course our news media, our mainstream media, and all of that. You're going to see them perpetrating their fake news and all their fake information, and then it has to be people like me and you and others that has to pick up the pieces and tell the truth. It's degrading.
It is. It's really terrible. Like, why do they get more of a free pass than some other crimes? Like, you want to go out and say all this stuff, and there's people that do some horrific things, and they do need to be somewhere. Some people can be. A lot of people can be rehabilitated if the system actually worked and they worked it as a program to revitalize people in and help them understand what led them to that, whether it be something emotionally, mentally destabilizing in them from whatever their life experiences held, or whether it's a medical, physical thing, something wrong in the brain. There are people that have had tumors and things like that in their brain that they found out after they committed crimes that they had something wrong with them. Hi, John.
Yeah, and this case, like so many others, a prime example of how biased and judgmental everything is as a whole. Some people get the love, some people don't, and we've hit on that tonight. And look what's going on with everything. So that's where I stand in it, and I that's why I hate people like this, because it costs. Keep in mind, it costs the taxpayers and so many other people a buttload of money more than any other type of charge. People think there's obviously a misconception. Drug offenders cost the taxpayers and programs and other stuff more money than any other crime that's ever committed. So it is what it is.
While he's in here, John, while you're in here, quick question. We're seeing where Ochoa, under Escobar drug cartel, him and his brothers, he was extradited in 2001. They're saying he served 25 of a 30-year sentence, but we're in 2024. What's your take on that?
Yeah, great question.
Maybe he might know a little something we don't know.
Yeah. Again, I got a lot of love and respect for John, because he's quite, educated on a lot of things, actually more than I am in a certain degree or not. And again, I really appreciate John being in here. He's part of this group, and he's a part of, part of our private chat and whatnot. So he's a great man. Respect him nonetheless, including all of you. So don't get it wrong. Just want to make sure you guys don't think I don't care and love you guys either. So anyways, but Vicky said this real quick. She said, "True, Jay. Yeah, I keep it real here, guys. You know that. I'm not going to give you false information. But there's that.
Repeat those years. He got extradited in 2001. We are in 2024. He got released on December 3rd of 2024 this year. Yeah, and he got extradited in 2001 from Colombia to here. And they're saying that's 23 years. I'm not seeing where they're getting 20. He served 25 years of a
Thank you, Texas Mom.
30-year sentence. And John, I don't know if you've heard this part of Jay and I. He got to they could not locate his product, his cocaine, and they could not locate his cash, any of his money. He was $6 million $6 billion billionaire on the Forbes list.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder where it went.
He's like, I don't want to hear y'all right now.
Yeah.
Thanks,
No.
Texas Mom.
No. John said I'll play it back later, rather if he has to. But Texas Mom said welcome. Yeah. Thank you, Texas Mom, for putting that up. But while we're waiting on John to figure out what he's gonna, or if he's gonna answer or not, I think he's going to. Let me see what the chat says now. Let's see. Jose, is that his name? Jose's in here. He said it federal, so every day counts, even on trial. Wow.
But if his extradition came from Colombia to the States in 2001, then his trial would have started maybe in 2001 when they did the extradition. Or are you saying that whatever court stuff was going on to get him extradited, they're counting the time from that time? Is that what you're saying, Jose?
Vicky said,
I
imagine
don't
that.
really know a lot about that extra. I do know about countries that, different extradition, but I don't know specifically.
Yes, because believe it or not, different countries have different rules, laws, and regulations that they don't have to copy or do what the United States does. But thanks for that question, Jose. I appreciate you, man. Bert said this: if in jail here every day counts as well. Yeah. So if you're doing jail time, you get credit for that, like I did. Yeah. But yeah, something doesn't. Anyways, nonetheless, something doesn't add up. But Jose said this in response to this. From them moment he stepped in the U.S.
Well, that was 2001. We're in 2024, so that's 23 years.
So
they extradited him in 2001.
There's the time. 2001 to 2024, guys, is the time he did. Huh. Interesting. But
I just happened to think of it. Sorry, I don't know. I'm making a big deal out of it.
This is how this is,
but it's still just kind of like how people report things. I just want to kind of understand why everybody's saying where they're getting 25 years. That's not 25 years.
Right. Well, that's
how I asked John. Maybe he'll find out. Sorry.
Right. That's how we educate ourselves on this stuff, guys. We're not like professionals over here. I'm kidding.
Definitely not a lawyer, and I'm definitely not a judge. So, forget that.
Let's go ahead and get back into the share screen real quick, and then after that, we'll open it up for all of you guys to talk about whatever needs to be talked about. But like I said, we do have more information for you guys to go ahead and look at. So here's this real quick. Did I already have this up? I must have. That's right. I already did that.
The other one.
So this is Republic. I think it's called Republic. Let me look here. Double check here. Let me see. This is what you also sent me. I think it's called the Republic.
It's called Republic. It's the name of the publishment, and they published this on December 5th, yesterday. We appreciate them sharing it with us. It came from the World News. It says, meddling cartel drug lord released after 25 years in U.S. prison.
Yeah, see.
So I'm saying, everybody's saying 25 years. A notorious, I don't know what bunk is, John, but you can explain it, please, to us. I appreciate you. In the meddling cocaine cartel has been freed from a U.S. prison. Look how young he was. Look how young.
Yeah. Well, again, remember the human brain's not fully developed until age 25. So how old was he here?
I'm not sure how old he was. I don't. It says one of Miami's infamous drug lords, a major figure in the meddling cocaine cartel, has been released from U.S. prison and is set to be deported to Colombia. According to the records from a U.S. Bureau of Prisons, Fabio Ochoa Vasquez was released on Tuesday after 25 years of his 30-year sentence.
Imagine that,
He's
guys.
67, so he was in his 30s.
Okay, wow.
40s, 30s, 40-ish, maybe 40
sure.
something. Ochoa and his older brothers built a vast fortune as cocaine flooded the U.S. in the late 70s and 80s, with U.S. authorities stating that by 1987 they were listed in Forbes magazines as billionaires list. Residing in Miami, they operated a distribution center. It's pretty much the same thing the other one said, but this is why I put this one up. So not only did they have the Tom Cruise movie, then they had another series that was called, and I used to watch this series, so I know a lot about this whole story, but it was on Netflix and it was called Narcos. If
Oh,
you
interesting.
ever want to understand how the DEA operates and how the US and Mexico intertangled together and how sometimes that worked and didn't work, and depending on the political climate in Mexico or even here, and how the president here gets along with the Mexicans, the cartels started churning on their own inside people inside the Mexican government
I'm
during
not
a lot of
surprised.
this. And they started under important people in very important places within the government. It would be like somebody going into the CIA, the FBI, and the DEA, and Homeland Security and things like that, going in and taking the heads of state out in those
Hmm.
positions. So a lot of that went on back in between the 70s and the 90s. That whole 20 years there, it was back and forth. One minute Mexico was with us, the next minute they weren't. Because their own people were getting slaughtered.
Hmm.
So, and this guy had a hand in a lot of it. Him and Escobar and all of that, because
I'm not surprised.
there were key players in the Mexican cartels that were all divided against each other. It's like our gangs here in the United States. So they have all these people against each other. Well, they would go in and they would take somebody out. And then one of them decided, hey, let's reach out to Colombia and let's get some good coke from there. And let's stop messing with weed. Let's go to the next level.
Wow.
And that's how all of this really started. So, I mean, the only time that finally lit up is when they unalived the who in 1986 was unalived by the cartels.
Wow.
So, I'm just here to say there's so many things. He was in 2001 in response to an indictment, Miami naming him and more than 40 people as part of a drug smuggling conspiracy. Of those, Ochoa was the only one who opted to go to trial.
Wow.
Out of 40 people, he's the only one that went to trial.
What?
Why? Because all the rest were scared for their lives.
Yeah, because when you
They
get
were gonna
involved in
get it.
something this
They were
big
gonna
and
get it.
yeah.
They were gonna get it if they got to prison and they turned
Oh yeah.
on anybody. They were done.
Yep. A
And
lot
if
of
they
lot of
got released, they'd still get it.
yeah, a lot. Like I said, when you get involved with something this big and this thick, it's a bitch to get out of.
And it says that they were never ever able to seize all of the Ochoa family's illicit drug proceeds, and he expects, this the former retired U.S. attorney says, he expects he will have a welcome return home, and he said he won't be retiring a poor man, that's for sure.
No, of course not.
And Ochoa's attorney based out of Miami, Richard Klug, said he declined to comment.
Well, of course, he probably got a nice little chunk too. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Yeah, this, huh?
I said, and so he went on to say too that when he was trying to litigate over the years, he was argued unsuccessfully that his client deserved to be released early because the sentence far exceeded what was appropriate for the amount seized cocaine that authorities could attribute to Ochoa.
Wow.
What about all the people's families that were ruined, lives that were ruined over their enterprise?
Right. Well, I know. And the sad thing is, with all the information there, you can definitely see and even read and hear the corruption involved in this and the shady activity that's going behind the scenes that you don't know about. And this is why I don't have any trust at all within our system. There is definitely, without question, favoritism going on there. Tammy?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, none of us could get away with this.
No, I'd be cooked.
We don't. Well, I mean, if we were the billionaires, we would.
Well, no, that was the thing I think I was going to mention earlier. Now, if you have lots of money and you can pay these high price attorneys, you're golden. But imagine if he had a pro bono attorney like I did. Mm-hmm.
Oh, he wouldn't be getting out right now. He'd never see the light of day.
He'd still be in there.
He'd still be in there.
John Doe said the feds serve 85% plus supervised release federal parole was eliminated in the 80s. Wow, imagine that. Again, must be nice. Thank you, John. Appreciate you, my friend. Bert said this, I just didn't like the county lockup. No one does. That's hard time. And then John also said this, that the military seized it. So evidently the military grabbed all of those assets. I wouldn't doubt it. And the military might well pick up anyone associated with Escobar as an enemy combatant. See, so if there's ties to anything, it's a domino effect. Mm-hmm. So you can see right there in that comment. And then let's see, where did I leave off? And then my good friend Bert said, my depression and PTSD is forever for me to deal with. And you're not the only one that has it, my friend.
I'm glad he brought that up. You know what? Let me tell you a little conversation I had.
I think I might have a little bit of it, but go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Tammy.
I think anybody that served any kind of time has it. There's I'll look it up and I promise you guys I'll put it out here. But there's actually a mental illness attributed and named for prisoners who have served or anybody that's been incarcerated. So, okay, what I was going to say. Before the show when we were talking about my friend whose son is incarcerated.
Yes, ma'am.
Her other son did 17 years. Came out. He's now a truck driver. He's gainfully employed, living a good job.
What's wrong with that?
What he's supposed to do. But now that his brother is incarcerated, they're talking visitation to go see him. Mm-hmm. And my friend, she said,
hey, girl, thank you for being here. Sorry.
Aw. She said she is she's having she's having anxiety because her son that had the 17 years is suffering from PTSD, and she's scared about him going into the prison because he's already told his mother he's getting anxious and nervous about just going there to go visit his brother.
See, I feel this whole entire thing since I've started doing this seems like a broken record. When it comes to the bull crap that our system pulls on these people. See, when you're poor, we get the shit in the stick. If you're rich, like this guy we're talking about here tonight, you're golden. You got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, it's just terrible. It is. It really is.
Yeah. But the Gotti girl said this, doing fine here in sunny Queensland, Australia. That's cool. It's been cold here in Florida, the Gotti girl, believe it or not. But I think it's close to spring, if not summer for you now over there. But welcome in anyways. Thank you for being here. Bert said this, I had both before being locked up. Oh, okay. I don't think I had what I have now after lockup, when I was locked up, I think I got it in there, but before I locked up, I don't think I had it. I was a happy camper, believe it or not. But anyways, Texas Mom said, nice. It's wet and cold here. Yeah, pretty much. It's not raining, but we're going to have some rain, I guess, coming. Anyways, Bert said it just adds to my issues. I understand, my friend. I'm really sorry too, by the way, Bert. I really am. Cold and dry here.
I want you. I'll try and make some time, but maybe Monday we can talk. I'm actually off. I've got to burn some PTO for work. We need to see what resources we could get to help you in that light, because I don't like seeing veterans go who need help.
Right.
Because there's help out there now that a lot of people don't know about. Maybe we can set up to have some kind of support system there. That's just much needed.
Yeah. So I wanted to touch base on something real quick before the night's out, and I appreciate every one of you guys being here. I really do love and respect every one of you. Vicky was in the chat earlier before the live went down, and is having issues ordering for some reason a hoodie, which I feel bad. I don't know what's going on, if it's the website or her. They keep denying her card. So, Vicky, if you can, please, with all due respect, can you email me so we can work out a different way of getting this taken care of so you deserve and get your hoodie that you want? You know, I mean, you have a
Maybe
right
she could cash app you or something, and you could submit the payment.
I could
and have
probably
it
do it
shipped
on
to
my
her.
end if she wants to work it out and, you know,
Or
obviously,
me,
hopefully
one of us.
has trust in me or something along those lines that I can do it on my end. If she wants to send it that way or do it that way, it's up to her. Again, you know, I don't want her to be discouraged and not have what she wants for Christmas. Everybody has a right to have a decent Christmas, and you have a right to have one of my hoodies. You know, I really like to see you sporting that. You know what I mean? But let's work out the kinks. Get a hold of me through email, voicesfrominsideout@gmail.com if you haven't had it or got it. There you go. Again, voicesfrominsideout@gmail.com, and let me know. And let's work that out. And Bert said this from what you said earlier, Tammy. I have counseling. So he's going through counseling, which is good news. Thank you,
Yeah, but
Bert, for
there's
that.
a difference in support and counseling.
Oh, I
And I
know.
work with a lot of vets. I promise. I have a lot of resources on my side there, and I hate you feeling left out there alone, because you're not.
Right. Okay, Vicky says I don't know how to do Cash App. Okay.
Vicky, girl,
Um,
I'll help you. I'll help you and
let's
Jay,
see.
and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
There's a couple of different things you can do.
We'll work it out. Either you
Yeah.
can either mail a payment in. It doesn't have to be like right this second. Obviously, there's going to be a Christmas rush anyways because the holidays and all the delivery agencies are on overload, so you might not get
Oh,
yours
yeah.
as fast. But anyways, like I said, we'll work it out, Vicky, if you can hear me. And we will definitely get involved and figure out either you can mail a payment to me, or because if you don't know how to do all that electronic stuff, which I get, not many people are fond of that. Just communicate. That's all I ask is email me and let's work out some issues with that. If I have to buy it on my end and go from there, I'll just do it like that. And then you can do whatever. We'll work it out one way or another. We'll work it out. All right. So, but anyways, Texas Mom said this. This is the email. Thank you, Texas Mom, for bringing it up there. Voices from insideout@gmail.com. That's for you guys to get a hold of me for whatever the reason is. And then, of course, obviously, it's also here on the ticker, which is right here on the bottom of the screen, as you guys see there. Voices from insideout@gmail.com. I usually keep the ticker up, but sometimes it kind of it screws up the screen. But there it is, guys, for the remaining of tonight. I appreciate every single one of you guys being here. Major shout out to every one of you guys that tuned in and been a part of this. And then Bert said, I know, regarding the conversation about that. And then Tammy says, at Bert, sending you love. Absolutely, because without that, man.
I want to tell y'all something. Y'all need to hear this. I found
Bert,
out something.
go ahead.
An epiphany happened last night. Things
Okay.
happen for a reason, okay?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
was looking at something concerning some real estate ventures.
Oh,
And
yay.
it led me to something else.
Okay.
And Bert, this is why I want to talk to you on Monday too as well. I found out here, I thought in Texas that there were certain laws in place that you could or be haunted with that stigma of that certain thing that we all hate to talk about. Well, I found out that there are actually specialized counselors who you can go to and attorneys to get disenrolled from that stigma that carries on with you for life. And I am almost betting it is not highly advertised. It's not out there for the world to see. You have to do some digging to find this. I found it on accident. So I'm willing to bet, since pretty strong armed state, very conservative, very by the book.
Good old boy state. It's a good old boy state. It's a good old boy state.
About going to take you out to the tree with a rope, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Put you on a horse and then hit the horse and you're hanging. So, being that Texas has this specific one, there are certain qualifications, and I know that Jay, yours, and both Bert's will qualify under that.
Oh, interesting. I'm dying to know. Okay, I'm all over this.
And if you've served 10 years on the thing, including, then that makes you eligible for this program.
Yeah. Mine's 15.
You have to jump through a little bit of hoops to get there. Like I said, specialized counseling you have to go to. And then once a counselor recommends that you are, yes, indeed, shown to have changed or whatever, because you took a plea because they lied and scared you to death.
Yeah. I want to let you know, Tammy, I already did mine. I got paperwork that says I passed mine.
Yeah, so I'm saying I'm willing to bet the Midwest has it too.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to look. Yes, Dugatti girl, it's like it erases it. It goes away. You're no longer on that.
Yeah.
It like disappears.
Yeah.
And Vicky I was like, holy mackerel. Are you serious? In Texas even?
Yeah. That's awesome. That's good news.
We have a lot of people that have nowhere to live because it's 1,000 feet within any park.
Correct.
Church.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everything. 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
Where are you going to find housing?
Yep.
Tell me where you're going to find housing. This is in Texas.
I got lucky.
Bert, so maybe move. Bert, I don't know.
Yeah.
We might have to claim a different state. Might have to get you moved. I want to take care of your mom, and I highly admire you for that. So
yeah, the Gotti girl said we call it expunged here. That we call it here. That same thing here.
We do too. I'm just kind of tiptoeing around.
Right.
Some other crap.
There are other states. Right. Other states. Sorry, Tammy. There's a time delay. Other states call it different, but in most of the states here in the U.S., it's the same thing. It's sponged. Yeah, absolutely. And then Vicky said, good luck with that, Bert. Absolutely. Because see, when we start digging, this is what happens. Of course, just like Tammy said, hush, 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 hush. None of this stuff for some reason gets put out there. And obviously they don't want you to know none of this stuff because again, this is a multi-million-dollar industry and they don't want to give up their dimes.
Well, Bert, let me try and do some digging because the way that I worded my question is what led me to it. And it had nothing to do with me looking for that actual program. I didn't know it existed. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. So we'll pray and hope that Vicky said, we'll pray about it. And hopefully it'll lead us to something.
Absolutely. Well, share that info too, Tammy, with me. I'm curious now.
Yeah, I meant to tell you that before the show, but I was hung up on that other.
Oh, you're good. The Gotti girl said this.
Commissary.
Right. The Gotti girl said this real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and let a few more comments come in, and then we're going to go ahead and say our goodbyes for tonight. And then, of course, we got Wednesday, but I want you all to have a great weekend. I appreciate every one of you guys being here. DeGardi Girl said this: when and after a certain amount of time, things can be removed from your record under certain circumstances. It depends on what the charge is, unfortunately. Now, I know certain charges, it doesn't go away. I don't even think you can get it expunged. It all depends on the state, what's set there, what kind of charge it is, et cetera, et cetera. There's a little bit of a catch with that. But thank you, DeGardi Girl. You're correct. And last but not least, she said most aren't aware of it here either. No, because our news mainstream media doesn't talk about it. There's a lot of fake news being spread around. And, I just get to the point. It's like, why do we got to continue to, spread fake news? Well, because it sells. And there's money to be made. There's money to be made in fake news. Tammy, do you have a closing argument before we bounce out of here?
Well, my thing is, yes, we see what we see when we search certain things, right? But it's all in the keywords and how we word things now, how the AI is interacting. So sometimes it'll pop up with something unexpected. The whole thing for me is it's not in the system's best interest for us to find out these programs
Of course
exist,
not. They don't want. They're
because
secrets.
then they won't get the money off of these people that
Mhm.
have to register or have to wear monitoring devices or have to pay fees and fines. They'll lose all that money
Right.
if
Good
they
night, Vicky.
find
Take
out that
care.
these things exist. So
Right. Yeah.
that's where
So
we have to do better.
right, absolutely. And Vicky, if you can hear before you go, get a hold of me, email me so we can work out the deal with your ordering issue, please. Thank you very much, Vicky. So I hope to hear from you soon. But anyways, thanks for being here and have a great night, Vicky. Love and respect you, and keep us updated on your current situation, all that, what you got going on with your son. With that, and of course, anybody else that has a question, comment, concern, or just want help, whatever the case may be, reach out to us. There's our email right there to get a hold of us, guys. Voices from inside out gmail.com. Let's hook up. Let's do something. Bert said this. Mine is not popular stance. Well, no, in a certain degree, yes and no. But man, I sure am. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. They got a vendetta. But anyways. Tammy, again, it's an honor and a privilege to have you in here. Thank you so much for helping me with this podcast. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Happy to be here. And I just, want to say never lose hope, guys, because at the end of the day, there is one person that can rise above this corrupt man's law that we have to abide by.
That's another statement.
And he rules and he makes the final say in the stand. And there's people that, you know, the good question is, when is it going to stop? Any day now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Any day now. I believe that now.
To add to what you just said there, Tammy, and thank you so much for putting the truth out there on that, because absolutely. But I also want to say that there is light, always light at the end of that tunnel. We're not always, we're not going to live in this dark, situation forever. Right. So always remember that. So always give yourself a pat on the back.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Bert. And give yourself a pat on the back and stand up and continue to fight. If you give up, they win, you lose. Don't lose. You don't want to lose.
And keep fighting this good fight.
Absolutely, guys. Well, Tammy, again, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I'll hopefully we'll see you here on Wednesday too as well. Do you know what's coming up for Wednesday? Because I do not, unfortunately.
I don't. I just, this sheriff case is driving me nuts. I just
what do you want to talk about that?
I want to know some more news, and it's just not moving fast enough.
Okay, like so I was going to say, do you want to talk about
forever? But
do you want to talk about? Okay.
We'll figure something out. I mean, there's a couple of topics that have come up, but I want to talk to you about them first before we bring them. And of course, anybody that wants anything talked about, or you want us to delve into something, want some information on something, please send it to the Voices from Inside Out email, please, so that we can look into it and do some research.
Absolutely. Because real quick before I bounce out of here, guys, I want you guys to know that just because we got stories to talk about doesn't mean that you probably not like have a story told. So if you got a story, whatever it is, and it's needing
come on up.
Right, if it's needing a buttload of attention, send it to me or send it to Tammy or whatever the case may be, and we'll work on getting it up there and doing a show on it, because it definitely needs to be talked about. This stuff needs to be shown, because a lot of it's getting shut on the rug, and I can't stand that. With that being said, though, however, this has been another eventful podcast. This is, like I said, this was going to be an interesting topic tonight, and I knew it was, but I don't got any respect for this type of crap. I'm not a big fan of drug cartels. I hate them. But anyways, it is what it is. But with that being said, we'll see you guys on Wednesday. You guys all have a great weekend. I'm your host, Jay. You guys have a great night. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.